Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to describe our Phygital experience in didactic activities that we carry on since 2020 in the context of an introductory seminary entitled Inside the Museum that was created by Professor Roberta Spallone and Valeria Minucciani, and it is a jointly collaboration between digital representation applied to cultural heritage and exhibit design for heritage. During our didactic activities, we usually concentrate on giving students the opportunity and the challenge to create extended reality applications that are web-based, and to create a special digital ecosystem in order to develop different kind of realities. In this year, we especially focused on augmented reality and virtual environment, and the methodological pipeline requires the data collection about museum collection, data digitization, data post-processing, because we need every time to reduce file size, and the data storage. For that, we usually use Sketchfab and GitHub to create our digital ecosystem retrievable by diverse applications. The first year, our case study was Musei Reali in Turin, and the student developed diverse application, including AR application and virtual tour, also because we were during blended didactic activities, and so we are in the middle of the pandemic COVID situation. The year after, we concentrate our study on Pinacoteca Agnelli, and again a student approach the design project using diverse technology to a very large environment. In fact, the Lingotto is a huge building where also the Faculty of Architecture is has a special site. In this case, again, we especially implement the use of physical maquettes to recreate augmented reality to provide and to communicate exhibit design project made by students, and eventually also virtual tour that were performed by acquiring data set using 360 camera. In our case was Nista 360 camera. After this approach, we also tried, in some way, to recreate a sort of virtual exhibition of didactic activities that firstly in a physical way was made at Valentino Castle, and also during the pandemic COVID situation, Politecnico di Torino established a new platform dedicated to didactic activities that is called Telearchitettura, where we can store students' project. At the same time, we also create a digital replica of our physical environment at Valentino Castle to create a social virtual environment. This social virtual environment is an interactive virtual environment, allowed us to recreate the physical exhibition that we had, and it allows us also to insert different kind of data, for example, audio, images, and video inside the virtual environment. The particularity of this type of environment is the fact that it is web-based, of course, and it is also social, because it allows people to join the same virtual place and also to chat, or eventually also to speak to each other in order to create a more social fruition of the virtual space. The same activities was also replicated last year, where the case study was Museum of Reale Mutua, again here in Turin, and in this case we directly asked to students not only to produce AR experiences, but also to produce a digital replica of their exhibition layout in order to create a diverse social virtual environment to be joined all together.
Okay, during the course, a web-based AR has been realized through the ARJS library on the digitally fabricated model of the exhibition spaces. And the anchor mode is through a specifically designed AR marker with the logo of the course. The marker was in a quite central position and had a proportioned dimension, more or less 3 centimeters, than the rest of the model. And all the contents have been uploaded by students on a GitHub repositories that permitted us to check all the projects and contents, making control easier and faster. In addition, this made it possible to have all the contents collected in one place and available for possible future research. Next, please. Elisabetta, could you? Thank you. The lack of stability of the content related to the size of the marker, purposely made so that it would not be too impactful, and the need to open a specific link for each individual project, feature that in the educational application have little impact, have instead often made it complicated to use the content in exhibition venues and to share the projects with a wider audience. So this led to the prototypation of an application with Unity that would collect all the projects in one virtual container, viewable simply by activating different buttons. To anchor the content to the maquette, a model target has a guide view and a model target and a guide view has been created from the virtual model. Once the model is framed, it is possible to act on UI button linked to actions to turn on and off the virtual models of different groups of students. So in this way, the real model can become a collector of a multitude of staging projects, thus more easily compared and visualized. I give the floor to Jacopo.
Jacopo, we don't hear you. I think you have some problems with your microphone. I don't know if it's only my problem.
Now you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
No, yes, okay.
Sorry, I changed the microphone. Okay, in this slide, as in the experience carried out in previous years, we can see the primary materials used to create the virtual environment. On the left, we find the 1- and 2-dimensional material then that can be seen from the Telearchitettura repository, such as a description and images. In the center, there are 3D models created by students representing the possible exhibit of a museum space uploaded to the Sketchfab. And on the right, we find the different 3D model to obtain by modeling and photogrammetry of museum rooms. To build the virtual environment, we use the frame that you see in this slide. This is an open source web-based software run on desktop, mobile, and VR, and allows us to create, communicate, and collaborate in immersive spaces. As shown in this video, this space was created using a previous material made available online from various repositories and became the main assets. Embedded with the virtual environment are the museum model, frame, and the various exhibits that created by the student scene. Finally, all material collect from this free educational experience was geolocated on a map created with UMAP. By clicking on the icon on this map, it is possible to view and interact with the material presented in the courses of the past 3 years. This material accessible through various online repositories such as GitHub, Telearchitettura, and Sketchfab, and have a different nature, one-dimensional, such as text and sound, the two-dimensional related images, and three-dimensional regarding a 3D model built by modeling and photogrammetry. This is, thank you for your attention.